Roses are red, violets are blue. Who's listening to us? None other than you. Roses are red, daffodils gold. We talk about many a game that is old. Roses are red like a Canada leaf. Look forward to us giving each other grief. Roses are red, now a blast from the past. We welcome you to the Red Leaf Retrocast, Valentine's Edition.
Yes, it is episode 86. The theme is romance. That's what I picked, guys. Aren't you so excited to talk about our one true love in the world, 2D women?
2D women and reading text.
There was a lot of reading text involved. Do you count visual novels as video games?
I do not.
Do you count JRPGs that have a lot of text in them as RPGs? Or as, well, do you, yeah. Answer that question. Huh? Do ya?
No.
Do ya?
I'm not a big fan of turn-based RPGs either. So there's been very bad games this podcast.
It sounds like you had a quick session in trying these out.
Happy Siggles Awareness Day. I mean Valentine's Day, people.
Indeed. Okay, Joey, you're here. How are you doing today on this Valentine's Day?
Doing all right.
Staying healthy? Staying hard?
No,
not yet. You didn't get a good piece of morning wood when you woke up this morning. You're like, damn it, it's February 14th. Hallmark needs me to get hard.
No. I woke up, and then it's like, shit, we have to talk about these terrible games.
Oh, come on. There was, we are going to talk.
Two good ones.
We are going to talk. Colin, how's the garbage chocolate treating you?
It's treating me good, and so is the job. Except for one rather adventurous moment we had the other week when some of the garbage caught fire in the truck.
Okay, you're gonna have to go into a little bit more detail on that one. You have my attention.
Had a garbage fire. Could you transfer to a dumpster and say it was a dumpster fire of a job?
That would have been fun, but there were no dumpsters around.
Isn't a garbage truck just a moving dumpster?
True enough, but we can't keep the junk in there for very long. Especially not nowadays, because then it'll freeze.
Yes, it's been very cold lately.
Absolutely.
It got cold down in here in Houston.
You're going to have to speak closer to your mic, Joey. Come on. Killing me.
It got cold down here in Houston. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
But yeah, basically one day as me and my partner were switching between doing the picking and the driving, I go to the back and suddenly I smell smoke. I walk behind the truck and then I see a bunch of smoke coming out from under the claw that comes down to grab the garbage and compress it into the truck. I'm like, oh shit. So I run up to the front, bang on the front door and tell my partner, we got a fire. So called my supervisor, let him know what the hell's happening, and then we grab the fire extinguisher, dump some of the stuff out, and start spraying it with the extinguisher, and unfortunately that didn't quite get it, because whatever was causing the fire was buried underneath. Could see the smoke coming through the cracks in the garbage. So we had to open up the back and let a whole bunch of stuff fall out, and then very carefully separate the burning stuff from the non-burning stuff. Then we grabbed the secondary fire extinguisher and sprayed that all over the garbage, but it still wasn't going out. So I'm racking my brain. What the hell are we going to do? There's still smoke coming out from under there, and some of it's even going into open flame. And then I look around and realize, hey, I've got a perfectly good all-natural fire extinguisher all around me.
Snow.
So I grab a shovel.
Yeah.
Yes. I grab the shovel off the back of the truck and started scooping snow onto it. And then some construction workers nearby saw what was happening, and they came over and started helping, started piling snow on top of the smoking garbage, and then it finally went out. And then my supervisor came by, we cleaned up the mess, separated what was burning from the non-burning for, well, paperwork purposes, I guess, but we
You got to
Went to the
document all
dump
that
and finished for the
prime garbage, right?
Yeah. We weren't sure what exactly caused it, though I suspect
Right, you don't know
somebody...
what could be another man's treasure. I understand.
We suspect somebody threw a lithium-ion battery into their blue bin, and that's a big no-no. As soon as those things get crushed, they catch fire.
Yes. I assume
catch
people
fire
don't
fast.
know that. Yeah. Recycling bins would be nice, but everything just seems to go in one place.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. There's very little of the recycling material actually gets recycled.
Sure, this is riveting audio for everybody. Video game podcast. Let's talk about garbage fires.
Well,
literal
garbage
ones.
fires of games here, so it goes with the theme.
It does go in, and my romance
Literal
life is
and
also
figurative.
going up in flames. So here we go. Who am I kidding? That's cindered out long ago.
Fire puns.
Yeah. So this is our last episode before we have our giant planning ahead list of games to do and themes. So just kind of happened to fall on the Valentine's of Days today.
Uh-huh.
And got a game that I've wanted to play for a while. I, in fact, played a remake of it fairly recently. Colin, you got a game that... Yeah. And then
It will bring about a very spirited debate, that's for sure.
I'm sure it will. And then Joey and Kay...
Not to worry, I came prepared.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
I chose a game that caused a lot of pain, and it caused a lot of pain.
It caused pain, yes. So, as does all of broken romances on this day. Causes pain. We're just trying to really channel a different sort of feeling for the day of love. Okay. Well, let's get to what we've been playing. I think we've been dilly-dallying enough. People still say that, right?
You said it, so I guess so.
I'm a people.
You are a people.
All right. Colin, what have you been playing?
I've mainly been back playing Doom Eternal, specifically the Ancient Gods DLC.
You beat that game already, though, right?
I beat the original game, but not the DLC yet. Let me tell you, even if you're a seasoned Doom player playing on one of the lower difficulties, in my case, Hurt Me Plenty, this DLC will still kick the shit out of you.
We know you're into that.
Huh.
Right next to the other modes, Step on Me, please.
Or hurt me more, Daddy.
Don't use those words, please. I don't need that coming out of your mouth ever again.
Are you gonna spank him, Daddy?
Joey, don't you encourage?
Encourage what? You getting angry, Daddy?
God.
Oh, Lordy. This is going off the rails very quickly. But yeah, anyway. Right now I'm playing through one of the optional arena battles, and this is one that will throw every single one of the hardest enemies in the game at you in waves. It's like the first wave you deal with is like 3 to 4 archviles, which are basically demons that can summon other demons. Superpowered ones at that. And then after that are 3 godlike beings that are only vulnerable in short bursts that can only be killed with a headshot. Then after that, you're hit with an enemy that's also only vulnerable in short bursts, but he's also buffed up by a spirit that makes him extra powerful and extra fast, and that's on top of all the extra smaller enemies coming at you at the same time. It's an absolute bloodstorm, and I've died so many times, but I'm determined not to let it beat me.
I believe in you, Colin. I do. Maybe you need some motivation and head on over to your dominatrix that you go to every February 14th every year. I know your secrets.
Don't tell my parents.
All right, they already got the Valentine's Day card telling them everything.
Shit.
I know where you live.
And I know where you live. I've been there. So there.
Was that the shadow I saw the other night?
Maybe.
Oh, no. Joey, help.
No, I don't know what happened.
We're somehow stalking each other and creeping us both out.
Despite the border crossing,
dude, we got our ways. We don't need to dive into that. That
True enough.
Anyways, tunnels, rivers.
Huh. Yeah, I also started playing Cosmic Star Heroine. That's right, people. I'm chasing the dragon.
Cosmic Star Heroine, not
I'm chasing the intergalactic dragon.
Intergalactic drugs. No,
well, that's the whole. That's the euphemism.
What?
Chasing
yes.
the dragon means doing smack.
Yes, I'm aware. I've seen South Park. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I went to Dare. I took Dare school in 5th grade.
Didn't we all? Yeah, it's for those who don't know, it's an indie pixel art turn-based RPG that I heard good things about and got on sale for my Switch a few months ago. And I hear it's pretty short, so it's a good palate cleanser after the absolute behemoth that was Breath of the Wild. Though I do intend on getting Breath of the Wild's DLC once it goes on sale.
I don't recommend it.
Really?
Really. It's not worth it.
Ah.
Yeah, I know. It's a bummer. A lot of people are bummed out.
I'll see you in time.
Yeah, if you're okay paying $20 for a motorcycle in the game, go for it.
Well, like I said, I was waiting for it to go on sale. I mean, I've got plenty of other games to tide me over. But yeah, as for Cosmic Star Heroine, so far I like it. I mean, it does something similar to Earthbound in that if one of your characters suffers a fatal hit, sometimes they don't die, but instead get negative HP, so one of the others can heal them, or they can heal themselves. And you can also recharge abilities in battle. Like if you use a poison mist attack, you can't use it again until you defend, after which that attack will be available for use in the next turn. And finally, your characters get all of their HP back after every battle, which I quite like. But yeah, last night I was playing through it, and I was nearing the end of one of the chapters, and two of the last battles I just barely got through by the skin of my teeth. It's like on the very last one, you're fighting like this giant zombie cyborg beast thingy, and I'm down to two of my characters are KO'd, and my last character has negative HP, but thankfully has an attack buff that occurs every few turns, and she was able to use the laser weapon that I had acquired earlier in the level to fry it to oblivion, and I won. It was an epic victory.
Epic. You hear that, Joey? He used the word epic. Who are we to not believe him?
It was an epic victory. Very epic.
Damn right.
Was it extreme too?
Yeah, don't go too far.
Damn right.
Don't go too far. Your lies will start to seep through if you start using verbiage like that. Lame jokes. We're in a mood today.
Extreme. Yeah, that's everything I've been playing.
Well, Joey, you've been playing some rad games, right?
I played one rad game for about 70 hours.
Oh my god. You've had some free time.
Oh, I was playing during work. Don't worry about it. Valheim. It's a Viking survivor game that came out on the 2nd. It's early access, but there's a lot to it.
There's a couple people in the Discord also playing that.
It's so much fun. My friend got a dedicated server. He put in 75 hours, so he's beating me. But yeah, we thought we were doing really good because we were just on the first island. And we're like, the rest of the game might be easy because we sat here too long. And then we realized we were very, very wrong.
Oh,
but
no.
It's just fun being a Viking. And the game just progressed, I guess, the further out you go and the more you see. And it's just so much fun building things. We built a little town. But now we're like, oh, should we move it? Because everything's further away now. We have better ships. But now we need to find iron. And all we have is bronze. So it just progressively gets harder and harder. And we found mobs that one hit us now. So it's scary. But it's just so much fun getting like 7-8 people on a boat and go raiding other islands and hoping you survive. But yeah, there's just so much to the game. And it's been out 12 days.
Has there been a couple singular moments that stood out to you?
The boss fights are pretty fun. We decided to take the second boss on together, and it's a giant ass tree.
A giant tree?
Yeah, a giant tree. It's called the Elder. And we're like, oh, we should be fine. I mean, we got 5 of us.
It's a fucking tree. Who cares, right?
We're decked out with armor, and it took a little while to beat him. Like, his attacks were pretty interesting. He shoots like vines out at you that does a lot of damage, and then he has roots that come up and they like smack you around. It's fun, but also we're not looking at like the wiki or watching anything, so we're just trying to experience as it comes. So we have no idea when we pick up items. We're like, what does this do? And we'll sit on it for a while until we realize, oh, so this is what we should have been doing this whole time. So that's actually adding a lot of fun to it instead of fully researching it and trying to min-max. But yeah, I think right now we're about to move our base, but I don't know. There's portals in the game, so you can actually go back and forth quickly, but you can't bring the medals, which kind of sucks because that's like the big thing you need. But I understand because they don't want you to.
So what you're saying, there's fast travel, but you can't take your resources with you.
You can take most of it, but not the things that make better armor and weapons. So you kind of have to bring things there to smelt down the irons and build it out. So they kind of want you to use boats. But once you are established, you can go back and forth quickly because the map is actually pretty big.
That sounds like a good little progression system they got going there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing 70 hours and we're only like in the center of the map. And we think we travel far, but it's like a quarter of the whole map radius wise. So we're like, what is out there? And we started seeing sea creatures now. And like, it's just, I think the game is progressively gets harder too. Because even in the meadows, I'm getting attacked more from the forest creatures. And now there's like random raids on your town that they focus on one person. First, it was just forest creatures. Now we have trolls that show up, and sometimes the swamp creatures show up. So it's progressively getting harder, and it's just so much fun just to play with friends and be a Viking and go raiding places.
Tell me about another boss fight. Sounds really interesting.
We've only fought 2, and the first one's a deer that has lightning attacks. But we got to the point. We got to the point where I can just tank it, and they can't even do any damage to me. So, but we finally got a marking of the third boss, but we're not ready to take it on.
Gotcha.
We have to make a lot of meads that some of them have like poison resistance, some of them have healing and whatnot. So it's kind of like your potions.
Also sounds a little like Monster Hunter in that regard.
Yeah. So you have to brew it, and we need to get a lot of poison resist and stamina potion type stuff. So we have a lot to it. There's just a lot because you get kill animals, you get meat, but you can also farm and get carrots and beets. The only things we have so far. And you can make like soups, and then you get entrails from some Viking like zombies you kill. Then you make sausage out of their entrails because you're a motherfucking Viking. So why not eat your enemy?
You're a motherfucking Viking. I like that.
And then we went to the plains and we died because there's mosquitoes in the game called Desquitos or something like that. And they are super fast and they aggro from far away and they do a lot of damage. So
shit.
We don't go back to the plains yet. It's just nothing but death.
Valheim is the name of the game, right?
Yep, it's early access. I think it's like $20.
Okay, well there you go. Everyone check that out. Hit us up if you want to play with Joey or something. There you go.
Cool.
I have played no other games except the podcast games. I've been trying to catch up on wrestling and anime, so that's I don't have anything to say. I've literally played only the podcast games the past couple weeks. I didn't dive into Cyber Shadow more, no Phoenix Wright. I take that back. I played a little further into Danganronpa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you
Mukuro Ikosaba is dead. I'm in the middle of the trial. I don't know where this is going. I have a theory that's really stuck into my head. I'm not sure how correct it would be, but
you might be surprised.
So maybe I'll say this here. I'll say the theory that I've had. So the corpse had fake nails, and the only person in the game that I thought that could be would have been the very first chick who died, the magazine model. Uh-huh. And when they first discovered the body, usually the game will, Monokuma, the bear, will come up and go, a dead body has been discovered as soon as 2 people. But that didn't happen, actually. It was a delayed dead body respawn, and that was much later. So that has to play some key factor, and I'm trying to put the pieces together there. So I'm like, okay, if that body was already dead, then that means they found a different body at a different point in time. Does that make sense, Colin?
I probably shouldn't say anything since I already know what happens.
Yes, but you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's kind of
seems
the
like the
cool
Game
little...
Grumps are thinking along the same lines.
I mean, I've been watching their videos after I play a certain amount just to see what they're thinking and everything. They're really goofy about it all.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the fun part of... I've been really into... I take that back. I played Hitman 1 in virtual reality, and it was fucking awesome. There we go.
Cool.
How about that? I totally forgot I played that 2 weeks ago after the podcast. So, yeah, VR. I'm still using my VR. I seem to plop that sucker on every now and again. And when Hitman... Since I can't play Hitman 3 because it's on the PS5, I don't have a PS5, that mythical device. I was like, hey, I'm going to get one before Christmas. I'm going to get one at Christmas. I'm going to get one for my birthday. 0 for 3. And now they're saying that supplies will be pretty much like this until 2022. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of scalpers online are really, really scooping them up.
Ugh, aggravating. It's very aggravating because I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I want to beat that. I got Hitman 3 I want. Ratchet & Clank's coming out this year, which of course I want to play that. Then...
I want to play that too.
Yeah.
That's the one game I want from the PS5.
Yeah. So there's some good little exclusives and big third-party titles coming, so it looks like my Nintendo Switch is going to continue to get a lot of love, and the occasional PS4 game I might pop in with... actually, since I want to beat Persona 3 this year. That's one of my goals. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm planning on starting up Control as soon as I'm done with Doom Eternal.
Oh, Colin. I look, I've been very outspoken about that game, kind of how it's right up my alley with its sci-fi elements, its weirdness, its quirkiness. The gameplay's super fun. Yeah, there's a lot of slowdown to make sure PlayStation 4 or whatever you're playing on sound like a jet engine, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has one of the coolest sections of a video game I've played in ages, with the whole moving hallways and stuff. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess we can move on to some romance. Get this podcast on and going. What do you think, guys?
Hell yeah.
Oh, baby, I'm ready.
Oh, baby, ready? Man, what?
My body is ready.
Oh, what drop do I play? You know what? I'm gonna get one off the YouTube. What do you think? What romance game drop should we get?
I have no idea.
Perhaps you could find something of a woman going, ah.
Something video game related, perhaps, Colin?
I don't know.
I was gonna say you can do Val Venus's intro music.
All right. You know what? Since we do, Val Venus theme. All right. Joey, it didn't take much to convince me, but here we go. Let's see what we get here.
It's just a cheesy.
Hello, ladies.
There we go. I played it. Haven't heard that in a long time.
It's still stuck in my mind. I can't get it out.
Oh,
I've
man.
never even heard
man.
of it.
You've never heard of it? Oh, Colin, when you listen to this episode back,
Yeah.
it is gonna strike you. Okay. So romance is the theme, if you couldn't guess from today's date while we record. Yeah, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Turns out, games with heavy romance elements, we've either already played them, or they had to be visual novels. A lot of RPGs have romance in them. Did you notice that? Kind of stuck out to me all of a sudden.
Well, naturally.
Yeah.
Definitely Japanese RPGs.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mass Effect, I suppose you could throw in there, but I don't think Mass Effect is old enough yet.
Not yet. No, I think it came out like 2007.
Yeah, we got a ways to go.
Is it that late?
I think so. I mean,
think
it came
so.
out on Xbox 360.
2007.
first.
You're right.
Wow,
Late 2007.
Colin knew that right away. Boom, boom, baby. Okay, so one aspect over the romance, because romance games were very, very popular in Japan, and not a lot of them made it to the West. So I kind of wanted to use this episode to get some very unique perspective on video games. And the first one, look, I'm gonna be very honest here. I used an emulator for every single one of these games except one, and they were all on my phone because that was the easiest way to get the English patch onto them. So I do have a couple of them. A couple of these games we discussed. But yeah, so the first one is Sakura Wars, developed by Red Company and Sega, published by Sega. It's in the Sakura Wars series, otherwise known as Sakura Taisen. It came out in the fall of 1996, and there was actually a loose reboot remake that came out last year on the PS4, Sakura Wars, and it's strikingly similar, but because, it's fucking 25 years later, basically, a lot's changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yes. So you this came out on the Sega Saturn. It's cheap to get, but you would either have to use a book translation guide, which I have done for a couple games in the past for the Sega Saturn. But what's cool is in 2019 there was an unofficial fan release that happened, so you can actually rip the disc ROM or the disc to your computer and then just apply the patch, and you can play the game full in English, and it's got a cool like CRT element you can throw into it, so it is on your computer at the end of the day, but that's one way you can play it. So I do have this game physically, so I threw it in the old Sega Saturn. I was just kind of watching a Let's Play go in English, kind of go on the side, and I was just kind of going through it with him situation. So that's how I did this. But the patch, when I switched to my phone, it was just going by much quicker. So I was just kind of hanging out in bed doing it. Anyways, what is this fucking game? So Sakura Wars is a dating sim slash, how do I put it? Like front
It's
mission.
Turn-based strategy, isn't it?
Yeah, turn-based strategy mode, kind of like in Shining Force front mission. Your girl squadron has mechs, and you go into battle. So
yeah, it's kind of like a chess match.
yeah, and for perspective, the 2019 reboot, it's all full 3D real-time battles, much in the realm of kind of a Dynasty Warriors situation there. So
yeah.
Battles go by a lot quicker. But most of the tactical role playing, very much a visual novel simulation for a good chunk of it. You are, what's this guy's name? Ensign Ogami, that's his name. So the game takes place in the 20s, but it's got this steampunk element to it all. And you are transferred to the Imperial Combat Review, which is a secret kind of group. And their alternative identity is through this theater troupe. And it also functions as their home base. So they kind of make money that way, hang out, and that's where you kind of hang out with all the women, and you try to court them. You basically strike up... Okay, so a common thing is in visual novels is you are in the conversations with them, and then sometimes you're given a choice of 2, 3, 4, 5 options, and you have to kind of use your anime tropes to pick the right one that will woo the character, or at least get on their good side, and over time your romance level with them will rise and strike certain events, and there's usually multiple different endings because you're trying to court other women. Good ending, true ending, bad ending, etc. And the game kind of goes like that, where you meet the various members of the crew, and he's, of course, very confused at first. He doesn't know what's happening, and that's really the good chunk of the game. I did like the travel system in the game, where it kind of has this chibi overhead isometric map of the theater, and you just pick and you go through the different areas, and different conversations with different people kind of develop, and the story develops over time. Colin, how long did you play this sucker, or watch this sucker, mind you? So I doubt you guys went into as in-depth patchwork as I did.
I watched maybe like 25, 30 minutes of an English Let's Play. And I kind of skipped ahead to see what the mech battles were like.
Well, tell me what you thought of the mech battles.
I didn't go super in depth, but they kind of looked like something like out of Final Fantasy Tactics or Shining Force, like you said.
Yes, exactly.
Or Fire Emblem, I guess. But yeah, it's I mean, that aspect of things, it has potential. I mean, I don't know if back then they had like extra special abilities unique to certain people's mechs, but I feel like that would be a good way to spice up the battles. And
yeah, each mech is inherently different from another.
Yeah. And I don't know how the various romances or conversations go, although I've seen bits and pieces from the reboot. And it seems like with certain responses, you get certain funny things, like if you meet for example, when you first meet like the first girl, turns out you two are actually childhood friends.
Of course.
In the reboot, anyway. And then if one of the first things you ask her is, "Hey, how about a date?" She'd be like, "You perv."
Yeah, except that this one, she's like she kind of is taken aback by it. Oh, a guy likes me. No, not right now. No, we can't do this here.
Yeah, it feels very of the time, because it's just like, I wasn't expecting the military leader to be a girl.
Well, it's very mid-90s anime, that's for sure. Artwork and all, which is very endearing. I kind of like about it.
Yeah, I like that.
Joey.
Yes.
Sakura Wars, what you got?
The music wasn't bad.
Yeah, I like the music.
I thought the mech fighting was random, but I also skipped ahead. I tried playing a little bit of it, but I don't like visual novels.
They definitely aren't for everybody.
I don't think they're
sure,
games.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather read a book and then play a video game. I don't want to do both at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely takes a certain taste to it, and a lot of these visual novels end up becoming anime or at least various OVAs. This one actually has a few sequels to it that came out later, and of course, we already mentioned the reboot. So there was also a PlayStation 2 remake, but none of these ever make the West.
I can see why. They're boring.
Yeah,
we don't really have that culture
fans.
that they have.
The weeboo culture.
Yeah, that just most of the games are like the same thing. I'm guessing high school age girls, but I mean, anime also likes to do a lot of junior high, which is weird, but it's not the same thing over here. So I don't know. I guess there's an audience now with everyone in anime, but I just don't think it's as big and worth the time of translating.
No, there's definitely a lot more visual novels. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more visual novels out there that are coming out in this era where translations are being made. Definitely not in the 90s. That was not a thing. That was commonplace, for sure. So if you're into the random mech battles, because they come few and far between, one thing that kind of struck me was full animated FMV cutscenes every now and again that would happen to introduce certain key elements, certain key story elements that would come. So that was really cool and quite unexpected. The game comes on 2 discs, mind you, as well.
It felt like it was an anime. I mean, you're just reading it, or I guess more of a manga because you were reading it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Like, it's definitely easy to get through if you're into the big reading aspect, and you get your woman that you wanna court. Then I can see someone getting into this. Sakura Wars is definitely kind of one of those things that has eluded me a lot of the years. Just very curious about it. Big anime fan, of course, would be. And I wouldn't say it's bad by any means. I think it has its level of charm, and I can see why, especially people in Japan, really into this. And the mech battles are right up my alley, so I give this a nice pass. But since it's a visual novel, I think that definitely puts a ceiling on it.
it was definitely a well put together game, but I'm gonna fail it.
Oh,
Unless you're into visual novels and anime, there's no reason to play this.
Colin, what you say?
I guess I'll just give it a soft pass
Fair
from
enough.
what I saw.
So you can go through the main story in about 18 hours. Game's not expensive at all. It ranges from, I think, like $5 to even $1 in some stores, if you can find it.
Huh.
Yeah, let me, yeah, you can't, anyways. So the next game is Ayakashi Ninden Kunoichiban.
Why
get
did
all
you
that?
pick this one?
Why did I pick that? Oh, let me just,
I couldn't even find a YouTube video for it.
So
I found one, but it wasn't in English.
Haha. There you go, Joey. Joey going the extra mile. Japanese dating sim by Shoisha, released March 14th, 1997, and also on computer. There's also a PlayStation and Sega Saturn version released as well. And let me just say the PlayStation version is slightly different than the Sega Saturn version. I played the PlayStation version. It is a female ninja dating sim as well as a gal game. And the PlayStation version has lesbian elements appearing much stronger. So, needless to say, this got my attention.
What does gal game mean specifically? Because I get dating sim, but gal game is a new one on me.
It is a game centered on attractive girls. It's a subgenre of dating sim. So
like Senran Kagura or something?
Yes, exactly.
Aren't all games supposed to be around attractive girls? That's why you want to date the girls?
They don't all have to be super attractive, Joey. Come on, don't be so what's the word? Closed-minded. How about that?
And they don't all have to have a man involved.
Fair enough.
Yes. Okay. So there was no patch for this game, but I was able to get it on my phone, and this is very simplistic, at least on the surface to me, because I ended up getting this sucker to kind of play for itself. So this is a world where shinobi go to school. Okay. Well, just like regular school.
Senran Kagura.
Kinda, yeah. It's centered around a girl named Kaede, and she's she's offering assistance to multiple girls in this school to be their guardians because she's because she's a shinobi, she's like their protector, okay? So there's various women she has to kind of court and convince to be their guardian, and think of it like a freelance position, you know? She's vying for a job, but she also has to go to school. Okay? But
okay.
So she's training to be a ninja, and the game is trying to get certain skills up, which requires study. So the first screen that comes up after you like talk to all these other characters is you're planning your school day for the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, first period, second period, third period, you get the idea. So there's language studies, arithmetic, the translation I was able to find was pharmacy, medicine, ninja training, and manners. And then there's like an extra couple like like spy and spy skills.
I don't know about you guys, but ninja trading was hard when I was in school. I couldn't pass it.
Dude, that was the alternative to gym class. Right up there with pharmacy.
Stealth was a nightmare.
I tried
stay
pharmacy
concealed.
too. Pharmacy was hard, man.
Yeah, so for like a good 10 minutes, I was like, I was trying to plan out my day. I was like, okay, I since it's ninja training, I need to convince them how good I am at being a ninja. But then, what if they get poisoned by the enemy? Okay, so I'll do medicine third period. Well, it turns out if you just press triangle, it auto does it for you. It's just auto does the day. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That makes it easy. So then, the other thing I came across was you can ditch class and go somewhere else. And if you ditch class, one of these chicks, I think her name was Hisano. She scolds you. She's like, "Why are you leaving class? I can't believe you. I'm so disappointed." Oh, and you just kind of so for like the first 2 days, I was just constantly ditching class and going somewhere else. So going totally not by the schedule I'd laid out. So I was being very rebellious to my own plans. Well, there is a bonus to that, though. You could ditch class and try to find the other women. So based on their personalities, you can kind of start to guess where they're going to be at in school. So you can run into them, strike up a conversation. I don't know what they were saying. It was all in Japanese. But it's amazing how much I was able to decipher just from trying to figure this out. So maybe I definitely put way too much time into this. It was like solving a puzzle. So then after school, you can then choose to visit houses, like where the women live. But if you haven't kind of figured out their own schedule, then you will end up wasting your time in the game going to an empty apartment, for example. So that took a little bit to figure out. Mostly it was just me guessing and being lucky. And I stopped playing after 3 weeks in the game. I think that's how long that passed. And there's a funny little side moment where before you go to bed, there's a chibi artwork character and she's kind of going around her room. And you can kind of go through status upgrades and everything that happens, which also updates you after every day or every week. And then you can choose to study more, maybe try to call one of them and have a phone conversation. They may not pick up. They may get angry at you because you're calling them so late at night. So there's plus and minus to it all. But I can proudly say, maybe not proudly, but I can definitely say that the main chick who scolds you came over to my apartment, and heavy implications that they slept together. So I thought, mission accomplished, I'm done with this.
Oh my.
Yeah. They tell me there's 13 different endings. You can marry the chick that I had alleged sex with. So that's definitely an ending. Guys,
it's an ending.
Guys, I think I played this too much.
And that is why I pushed for Metal Gear Solid 3.
No. No, this one is where we had to this is the one where we had to play. It's my theme.
It's the one that you played. We didn't play it, so
yeah.
What did we learn? What did we learn today?
All I know is I had no idea what was going on, and I was confused when one of the girls pulled that knife on another one. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, they're ninjas, and she snuck up behind, and she's like, "You best get your shit together, buddy."
I didn't know that. I just saw a high school girl pull a knife on another one.
Yeah, that's within like the first 5 minutes. She goes to school, girl pulls knife. Normal.
Lovely game. All the skirts were way too short too.
Well, they're
Did
ninjas.
you expect any less from a dating sim?
It's for mobility, Colin. Ugh.
How is the longer skirt going to affect mobility?
Well, it'll impact
air resistance.
See, Colin sees some of the effects. You know, you got to get your leg mobility. You can't be constricting that with a long skirt.
Why not pants? So they protect themselves.
Pants isn't fashionable, Joey. Don't be ridiculous.
And you can't distract the male enemies with your legs.
See? There, even though there was no males in this game. So the game goes for about $20.
They all got distracted and died.
Yeah, game goes for about $20. I'm sure you can race through this game as fast as possible. Not worth it. I fail it. Game sucked. You guys fail it too?
I'm surprised you, JD.
I also fail it.
Joey?
Hello?
Did we lose Joey?
Did we lose JD? No, I said I failed it.
Oh, okay. There he is. I think you freaked out there in the Discord.
I said I failed it.
Okay. All right, Colin. What do you got? Your pick.
Boo.
Here we go.
Boo.
Sorry, did you say something?
No. I was just humming to myself.
I do believe I said boo.
Use your words, guys. Use your words.
All right, Colin.
But we all just take a deep breath and contemplate how far removed from reality you are.
Moving on.
Anywho, the game I chose is Kingdom Hearts 2 for the PlayStation 2. Developed and... Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yes, we're listening.
Here.
Okay. I was a little thrown off by the lack of more booze. Anyway, developed and published by Square Enix, released on the PlayStation 2 in Japan on December 22nd, 2005, in North America on March 28th, 2006, in Australia on September 28th, 2006, and in the EU on September 29th, 2006. Now then, the game is, as the title implies, a continuation of the Kingdom Hearts series. It starts off a little confusing, centering around a character called Roxas, who's in a place called Twilight Town, but not all is...
Joey, it seems Colin is cutting out a lot. That's a shame, isn't it?
As weird-ass creatures wearing white keep coming across and attacking. And then this guy in a big black trench coat with shit or causing all kinds of trouble to get Roxas in trouble. And then on top of that, he's got to do this big fighting tournament type thing. And then on the side, you'll see this guy who's apparently restoring the memories of our main character from the last game, Sora. And then eventually Roxas comes across Sora and apparently reunites with him as one being, because apparently he's what's called a nobody. Sora's nobody. That's a whole can of worms there. But it's understandably confusing if you haven't played Chain of Memories, or even if you have played Chain of Memories prior.
Didn't Chain of Memories come out after
myself.
Kingdom Hearts 2?
No, before.
It did?
The first game came out in 2002, Chain of Memories came out in 2004, and this came out in 2006.
I see. Chain of Memories. Okay. 1 year after the events. Game Boy Advanced. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which I think was kind of a weird move on Square's part. I mean, if it's so integral to understanding the plot of Kingdom Hearts 2, why put it on a separate console from the first game?
Right. Yeah, especially when you got a major story elements into it. But I guess the excuse would be the Game Boy Advance was so super popular that I guess you could assume that a good chunk of the fan base would have a Game Boy Advance. I guess that's the thinking. Now, was there
Maybe.
a Chain of Memories kind of recap? Because I remember booting up Kingdom Hearts 2 here, and there was a recap of the first game, but I couldn't remember if see, I've never played Chain of Memories, so I don't know what was taken from that game, or my memory was just off from the first one.
Well, it explains why Sora was in like this big sleep tank, as well as Donald and Goofy. He was getting, because in Chain of Memories, his memories were all fucked up by this one girl who was being forced to do it by Organization 13, who are the main villains of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Of course.
In order to try and make Sora into their own little puppet. But then something goes wrong with a double agent, and then Sora is put into sleep for a year so that the girl who fucked up his memories to begin with can repair them. And then everything's all well and good after Roxas, his nobody, reunites with him, and now after Sora wakes up, he and Donald and Goofy have to go on another journey to fight off Organization 13, keep them from doing what Maleficent was doing in the first game. There's a lot going on, but hey, there's characters from Final Fantasy VIII in there.
Squall's there. That's cool, I guess. You know,
Cypher, Fujin, and Raijin are in there. Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. Setzer from Final Fantasy VI. That was surprising. And later on, Auron from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, now that I played more Final Fantasy games since then, I could actually connect with the characters a little bit more. I suppose that was a positive.
Yeah. And one major improvement this game has over Kingdom Hearts 1 is the ability to skip cutscenes. Because I remember the first game really annoying me with that when I got to a part I had a hard time getting past, like the Dragon Maleficent boss fight. That had such a long scene beforehand. Which reminds me that Kingdom Hearts 2's overall plot doesn't involve the Disney villains nearly as much as the first game, which I wasn't really a fan of. But they also improved camera control, JD. You can actually use the right analog stick instead of the L2 and R2 buttons.
Yes, the gameplay and camera-wise was a massive improvement from the first one. It's just very unfortunate. You know what? I'll stick with the positives for now. The gameplay and musical score, the voice acting was much better to a degree. The Gummy Ship wasn't as tedious and ridiculous as the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, it felt less like Star Fox and more like Sin and Punishment.
Yeah, it was. So in those aspects, it's way better. So Joey, you still there, my man?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, so let's get your thoughts over 1KH2.
I mean, it's a game. I don't understand why it's called a Keyblade. There's no blade on it.
It resembles a sword, though.
That's what stuck out to you.
Should be like a key club or something. Maybe put a blade on it. It was round. That's not a blade.
That doesn't sound as cool.
Yeah, but it makes more sense than something that doesn't have a blade to be called a blade.
What's this about sense? Who cares about sense when it looks cool? Rule of cool, man, don't you know?
Rule of cool.
That's what they call it on the internet. If something's cool enough, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense.
I know. I play D&D. I know rule of cool, but it felt like they tried to be too cool. Like, why the hell is there like a skateboarding mini game thing to make money? Like, what the way to make money? Weird. They were trying to go to the beach. Is that?
Yeah.
I forget where they were trying to go, but they needed like 5,000 money. Because that's what you told me when I got 5,000 money. It's not called anything else, just 5,000 money. I don't know. It just felt weird. I didn't play the first one, so I was lost, and everything just felt insane. And who designed these characters? Why did that one villain have a vest on with a long jacket and no sleeves?
Because he's trying to look cool, but probably failing.
Oh, it failed. And was the main character wearing assless chaps?
Look, man, he made a very bad decision after going to Hot Topic. All right.
It looked like he was kind of being what's his face from Yu-Gi-Oh, the main villain dude.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
The guy who created the cards or owns the company of the card game.
Pegasus?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name. Anyways.
I forget his name. The guy who wears the jacket just like it. I mean, it kind of looked like they were trying to do that. I don't know. This game, I mean, the controls weren't too bad. I just don't like the story or the characters. So
the aesthetics of this game was off the chart. That's, I think, my favorite aspect of the game. Like the side menu where all your attacks and statuses are. They like things like that changes with each world that you go to. The characters' sprites and models and clothes change with each environment. So aesthetically, everything was a massive improvement. It's a lot of the little things that added up, and each world was definitely way different than the previous one. There's the Nightmare Before Christmas Town, which was really cool. The whole black and white aspect to everything, really neat. That being said, I did not like this game. I appreciate everything it did well.
You've made that clear.
This game was insufferably grindy. I absolutely could not stand that. I was like, why am I grinding through a game that's like basically a hack and slash?
I didn't really see it as grindy. I mean, you're just fighting enemies along the way to the next objective, like any RPG.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like that to me.
It seemed like part of the core for RPGs of that era.
Yeah, and I could not like it. Not to mention, I'm with Joey at the fact that the story is incredibly convoluted and confusing, especially not having played Chain of Memories. Maybe that's my fault. Like maybe not.
They were trying to be mysterious about things that did they really need to build that mystery about? I don't know. It just missed a lot of things for me.
Yeah, and couldn't
That's
really.
fair.
Yeah, I just can't get into the characters. There's a reason why I never completed Kingdom Hearts 2 and just totally fell off the series after this. I can see people like Colin over here getting really into it, especially being a young lad.
But can we talk about Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Yes, that was that was the point in the game where I just go, I'm totally done.
I couldn't even get through the video you sent us to watch. Like, what is going on?
It's a shitty rhythm game.
That's what everybody asked when they played it. I mean, even diehard fans like myself all agree that section is the cringiest part of the entire Kingdom Hearts series.
Why are they dancing underwater?
I don't know.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
It's always hotter under the water.
Take it from me. Stab me in the eyes and
the dancing, the encouragement from it's just terrible. Nothing good about it.
I haven't cringed that much since watching Love Hina.
Oh,
dear God.
So the game is
And
about 35
no...
hours.
Oh.
Yeah. Game's about 35 hours. It's $5, so it's not a heavy investment by any means.
Yeah. Well, when I first played.
When you first what?
When I first played it, I played I think it was 30 hours. First played Kingdom Hearts 2. It took me about 30 hours.
I'm going by howlongtobeat.com. Kind of gives you main story extra. I usually kind of take the in-between.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
32 to 43 hours. So. Yeah. Colin, do you care to fanboy out over much more of the game?
Yes, I would, actually.
Well, go for it. You got the floor.
Because you mentioned the voice. You mentioned voice talent from the actual Disney movies in here. I mean, they got Jodie Benson for Ariel, James Woods for Hades. No Eddie Murphy for Mushu, unfortunately, but Ming-Na Wen comes back as Mulan. If you don't know who Ming-Na Wen is, she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and most recently, she was that assassin lady on The Mandalorian.
Oh, cool. Good for her.
Yeah. But I really didn't like Aerith's new voice actress. She sounds like she's half asleep the entire time, and it doesn't match her on-screen mannerisms at all.
Well, she is dead.
I never thought of it that way. Good point. But yeah, I did like that the characters conveyed more personality than before with their animations and facial expressions. It was kind of a funny coincidence that Haley Joel Osment's voice changed in real life after the first game, because he's the voice of Sora. So having Sora having grown up in the game seems more authentic that way. And I like that in the Lion King world, the second big boss you have to fight is like a true Shadow of the Colossus style boss, because it's actually probably one of my favorite boss fights in the series. So you have to like climb up the legs, get onto the back, and hit the weak spot and all that good stuff. It's pretty cool. And since this is a romance cast,
Yes.
I would be remiss as to not mention that the various romance moments involved, because it's centered around Sora and Kairi. There's one moment that stands out to me was in the Nightmare Before Christmas storyline. Everybody sees Jack and Sally dancing as the snow falls, and then Sora imagines them as himself and Kairi. I thought that was kind of a neat moment. And the Pirates of the Caribbean world, yes, that's in here too. Sora sees Will and Elizabeth having a little moment, and then his face goes red, and Donald and Goofy tease him about it. And then, of course, Sora and Kairi eventually reunite, and they hug. Or Kairi sending out her message in a bottle for Sora, despite not remembering him as a result of Chain of Memories' events. But yeah, one more thing about the Little Mermaid section. I actually did see Jodie Benson at Fan Expo one year, and she had a Q&A. I kind of wished I'd asked her what it was like to record for Kingdom Hearts, especially this section. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. I love this game. Easy pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail it, obviously.
Yeah, no need to ask what you guys are gonna say.
No, it's only fair, Joey.
Just like everything else in this podcast, I fail it.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, all right. Okay. I'll just do Kay's shadow pick. It is called Memories Off, which is a straight-up visual novel that came out on the PlayStation and Dreamcast back in like 2000, 1999. It was also ported later to the PS2 and PlayStation Portable. There's like 8 of these fucking games. One that released as early as 2018. So, visual novel is you read text. There's cute early 2000s anime girls that you talk to. And this is the first one. And I did a little reading over like how this game got so many sequels and what's the appeal of it. Who made these? KID. Kid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the appeal is the aspect of psychological effects on characters. So there's each game has a theme of some traumatizing event that happened during their childhood that will then affect mostly the main character, but it also affects all the others, and that impacts how they look at modern relationships. So in this one, Memories Off, your main character named Tomiya, he has a childhood friend, and they're both like totally have a crush on each other, brah. You know, and they're gonna confess their love totally. And he's too shy to do it, and she's too shy to do it. But today is the day. They're gonna confess their love, and they are en route to from a school, or they're en route to school. They're on a train. They get off the train, and they stop, and she's gonna confess to him. Oh, the day has finally come, and I'm not shitting you, a fucking truck hits her and kills her. Truck-kun strikes again. He's back. I fucking died. I was like, oh my god, this actually happened. It's like trope 101. So he fucking watches
differently in the OVA.
Oh yeah, so he fucking sees his crush crushed in front of her, and so all the other characters, cuts years later. They're obviously he's traumatized.
Yeah,
and all the other characters have not as bad trauma. They're not as bad traumatized because they didn't actually see her die, but she died nonetheless. And there's a lot of love triangles going on, polyhedrons, whatever shape you want to put to it, and it's the whole dialogue is just them kind of being sad teenagers. Oh, I don't know if I can really do this. Oh, it's not the same. Oh, you haven't been the same since this day. So I got super tired of the conversations very fast. I was like, okay, I've seen a million things like this. I don't need to do it. It's not. It doesn't hit. So I looked up a little bit of kind of the more recent one, Memories. What was that called? Memories. Joey, what was the Innocent File? Is that the name of the game? Came out recently?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's Innocent Files.
So yeah, Innocent Files actually does a way better job of hitting.
File.
Yeah, way better job of hitting home how the characters are being affected psychologically, doing more artwork with the crazy eyes, hands over the head. They're in a bathroom, and this game didn't really do any of that. It was just kind of side head cocked to the left. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, how long is this fucking game? Oh, memories off. Multiple endings, multiple people you can court, obviously. How Long to Beat doesn't have any of the games listed of how long they are. Obviously, I didn't waste my time in playing this to completion. You can get it for $5 on the Dreamcast, so that's something you could do. I just played it on my phone and got a patch for it, and I was like, yeah, okay. I get it. I'm out. Fail. How's that for a quick review? What do you guys think of what you saw or didn't see?
Well, I found one YouTube video of this game. It was like only 12 minutes long.
Cool.
It was in Japanese.
Sounds like a winner.
He was speeding through the text. So I have no idea what this game was about, and it looks like something I would hate. So I'm going to fail it.
Joey, I can say with the utmost confidence that you would absolutely hate this game and you would not play it.
Yeah, that's what I got from that short video.
Colin, how about you?
I was only able to find the OVA. It was 3 episodes.
Did you watch the OVA?
Yeah, all 3.
Oh my god, okay, do tell. It's even better than the game.
I was having so many Clannad flashbacks watching it.
Yes, it's the exact same art style too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just with different school uniforms.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, and as soon as the first episode starts, it's got that typical, I don't know what the word is, very bittersweet music box music and piano music. I was like, of course that's in there. What Japanese dating sim would be complete without music box or piano music?
Did they do a flashback or show the chick getting hit by the car?
Well, that's the thing. What happened in the OVA was a little different. It's that the guy was at school stuck there because it was raining. And then he called up his girlfriend because they had actually already gotten into a relationship by that point.
Oh.
Called up his girlfriend, let him know what was happening, and then she's like, "Stay right there. I'm going to come and bring your umbrella to you." And she's running through the rain, and then she gets hit by a truck.
Oh, okay. It's very possible. It's very possible that the patch I had was poorly translated.
Maybe. And yeah, as a result, the guy feels guilty because he feels like because he called her up, that's why she came to get him, and he's the reason she got hit by a truck.
And everyone kind of blames him for her death.
No, they
Oh,
try to tell him the opposite, but he's not really hearing it.
okay.
But yeah, each episode has like a different like romance route from the game. Like
Yes.
in the first episode, it's him and the other childhood friend.
Yep.
Who's
That's all
been
the
pining
same.
after him the whole time. And then the second episode.
Did you meet the chick
I
that's
forget.
always in the hospital?
Yes, that was the third episode.
Okay.
Yeah, he turns out she's the cousin of his dead girlfriend, and she was actually due to give one of her organs as a transplant to said girl, but then she died before they could take it. So yeah, that hits the guy even harder.
That's great. Laughing at fake characters' demises.
Yeah, but it did have kind of a nice bittersweet ending because she sneaks out of the hospital because she's basically on her last day before she bites it, and then she comes to his apartment and says, "I want to spend my last day with you. Let's go to the beach." And then they watch the sunrise together, and then fades to black, and the implication is she passed away right then and there.
Okay. Do you fail the anime?
Yeah, it was pretty boring overall. So yeah, I do.
All right.
Although
it was the game.
I will say it was kind of cool that Kotaro Uchikoshi was on the writing team. And for those who don't know, he's the guy who made the Zero Escape series, which contains my second favorite game of all time, 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
Well, how about that? Joey, easy fail? I think I asked you that already. Yeah, I did.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely easy fail.
All right. Well, Joey, let's get to our last game. Your pick. What you got, buddy?
Ooh, I got 1,000 Arms. Yeah. Sounds amazing, right? Wrong.
Absolutely.
Developed by Red Company and Atlas and published by Atlas. Came out in 98 in Japan and apparently in 99 in North America.
Yeah, like a year later.
And it's on the PlayStation. So it's like this steampunk world where it's a dating sim role-playing game and you're the chosen one to do something with the flame, and you're a spirit blacksmith, so you're also making cool weapons. So your character is just the bee's knees. And this game sucks.
So the game is incredibly expensive. It's like $75 minimum.
Wow.
I don't think it's on the PlayStation Network at this point.
Not so far.
Or at least it was tough. It was tough because the whole new update with the PSN. So this was another phone game for me.
This game took everything I hate about games and put it into one.
Really?
Joey, this character was so horny.
Yeah, it's like a visual. It's like a visual novel with turn-based RPG rolled into one, and I hate both of those things.
Yeah,
it felt like Persona to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I see what you're saying, Colin. There, absolutely. It's more RPG focused, I guess, than a Persona game. But yeah, I get it. It's a kind of a steampunk typey world.
Yeah.
Let's see. I did not like the artwork in this game. It felt very Slayers, but cheap.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to go kind of retro, but not, and it just, I don't know. It was weird. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
I agree, Joey. It's not a bad game by any means, but definitely not good. There's 9 women that you can try to court, and I found myself very... I had a lot of failures trying to connect with these women. No matter what gift I gave them, they were always pissed off. No matter what I said, they were always pissed off. I don't blame them. The dude talking to him is just like, "Oh my god, your legs, your boobs. Can we have a night of sex on the town?" And they're just like looking at him. What is wrong with you? Step off, creep.
Yeah, even outside those interactions, there's the option of horny ones, and then the main female, Sedina, will on screen smack the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious.
Yeah, I never got to the point where I was actually successful in even going on a date with a girl. It was failure after failure. So I didn't know what to make of this game at all, heads or tails. The villains were very strange, I must say. They're very everyone's like dark this, clan of darkness, dark that. Oh, and then we're on the light side. It's very dark light. It's very basic bitch. Whole game is
so
basic
Star
bitch.
Wars.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The dark acolytes. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, how could I forget?
yeah, they have cyborgs and robots, and you're all about the flame. So this game is like super edgy.
Combat was okay, I suppose. The whole turn-based element to it was fine. Very indifferent to it.
You only had like one character attacking at one time, and everybody else is like on standby as a support role.
Yeah, I didn't like that. It's like
felt a little bit like Tales of Symphonia.
Oh, that's a good comparison, Colin. Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like a Tales game. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the graphics and visuals. I mean, the environments were very detailed, and the camera rotates a lot, and there's not really any slowdown when you do that.
True.
And
I don't know so when you're kind of in that travel mode, and it's like the pseudo isometric flat sprite on the screen of that pre-rendered background. I had a tough time getting past that choice of art.
It didn't bother me too much. But one thing I wasn't a fan of is that when you level up, your HP and magic points don't go up with the maximum number. It just, if you have like 27 out of 39 HP, when you level up and you get max HP up to 52, what you have stays at 27. And I wasn't happy about that.
I mean, it's not the first game to do that, that's for sure.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct in that.
Yeah. But like I said, some of the conversations are really funny. Like one I came across in the town was, since it's such an obvious South Park reference, or actually no, this came up before South Park, didn't it? I can't remember. Oh. Basically, you talk to a kid. You talk to a kid and he says, "Have you seen my dad's resurrection? Mom says she's gonna leave him if he doesn't get one." And if you talk to,
I think that's way before South Park made the same joke.
Possibly.
Let's see.
But still really funny. If you talk to him a second time, he says, "My mom keeps shouting something about Viagra."
Believe it or not, South Park came out in 97. So this came out after South Park. But you could say it was in development of the same time.
Maybe
it's just a coincidence. I don't know if that episode came out in 98, 99, though. Did it?
Who knows? But I mean,
really check.
I doubt the creators played this.
You know, if I was in the right mood for Thousand Arms, I could see myself diving way further into it. I will say there was some sort of, at least, kind of charm to it all. I wouldn't say it's on the same level of Sakura Wars. I think Sakura Wars was easily a way better made game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of detail to the artwork, backgrounds. But then again, this is a totally different game. It is an RPG. It's not a visual novel with tactical elements thrown in there every now and again.
Yeah.
I made a comparison to Persona because your relationships with all the girls affect like the strength of your weapons or attacks, and that's very similar to what Persona did, because in that game, with all of your different relationships, whether romantic or platonic, they still increase like the level of your different like tarot symbols, which affects the strength of your personas. So closer your relationships, the stronger your persona summons, and that seems to have had a basis here in Thousand Arms, and it makes sense because they're both Atlas games.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong there. I found that a pretty interesting element. So there's more to the dating aspect than just dating them. There's a big pro into it. So you might want to pick one girl over another because of what weapons that they can help you out with. So yeah, I appreciate that. There's a weird charm to it that I did like. Maybe the character shouldn't be as horny, but I did find myself laughing about all the cheese that this game had on it.
Yeah, I give this a pass. I liked it.
I'll give it a loose pass. I think it's missing a lot of elements to really grab people outside of. It's like Joey said, it's not bad, but it's not good situation. And I'll lean towards I could see myself putting a little bit more time into it. But on this day and age, on this day, I wasn't probably in the right mood to it all.
Fair enough.
I'm a fail it, just like every other game on this podcast.
Every game. Joey's a straight failure. All right. Straight failure. All right, let's go over the games here. Sakura Wars, Sega Saturn. Ayakashi, Ninden, Kunoichiban, PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Kingdom Hearts 2, PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Cue the boo. Give me a good boo, Joey.
Boo.
All right. Memories Off, PlayStation, Dreamcast, and Thousand
My
Arms,
goodness,
PlayStation.
Such a compelling argument. How could I have ever thought otherwise? You completely opened my eyes.
Well,
I'm
Colin,
glad.
since
glad.
your eyes have been opened, your favorite and least favorite game. You got some good choices here.
Okay. For Sakura Wars, since I didn't really play much of it, actually watch much of it, I guess a low C? I don't know. Ayakashi, as for Ayakashi, I saw virtually nothing, so I'll just give it also a C based on what you said.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm shooting in the dark here.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2. Surprise to no one. I'm gonna give it an S.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, just one more thing, if it'll allow me to speak seriously for a moment. I never properly did so before, so I should clarify once and for all why Kingdom Hearts as a series means so much to me. It makes me feel like a kid again, in much the same way as watching certain Steven Spielberg movies like E.T. or Hook or Indiana Jones.
Sure.
These games take me back to a time and mindset where I had more fun and a sense of wonder watching movies, games, and TV shows. It's not even the Disney or Final Fantasy elements making it happen, although they do help. It's a combination of the music, the visuals, the story, on an emotional level at least, the characters. For me, it just hits all the right notes. A purely subjective opinion, yes, but it's my opinion and it's what I get out of it. Shit on them all you want, but I will never stop loving these games. So yeah, that's my little speech there.
You sounded attacked there, Colin. Don't be attacked.
I do feel attacked with all these boos.
Don't be attacked. It's only Kingdom Hearts that we're booing at, not you.
I know, but I can't help but take it a little personally because I'm so attached to it. But
there's a lot of games
whatever.
I like. People look, dude.
Whatever,
I just played a ninja sex game, lesbian sex game. I'm the one that should be ashamed, not you for liking Kingdom Hearts 2.
I don't feel ashamed. I just like. Well, I don't know how to describe it, but.
All right, Memories Off. What's your grade for it?
D.
Okay. Thousand Arms.
I'll give it a B.
A B for Thousand Arms. All right. Your favorite, least favorite? Obviously, your favorite's Kingdom Hearts 2. What's your least favorite? Memories Off?
Actually, I'll probably go with Ayakashi.
Okay. All right.
Just
Joey.
because I couldn't even find it.
Joey, what you got, buddy?
Okay. I'll get Sakura Wars a C. I didn't like it, but at least it was kind of well put together. Ayakashi, D.
You don't say.
Kingdom Hearts 2, I'll give it a C. Memories Off, D. Thousand Arms, D. Game I hated the most? Probably Memories Off. The game I hated the least? Gonna give it to Kingdom Hearts 2. Boo. But at least it actually had gameplay.
I
I'm
was
honestly surprised, Joey. I thought for sure you were going to give it an F and make it your least favorite just to spite me.
There's actual game there. I just don't like the story, but like you can play it. It's just not something I want to play.
Well, now you can actually justify your boos because you've actually played something now.
And
I was gonna ask
now.
you. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Joey. What was
said
your
it.
least hated? That's funny. All right. I'm actually gonna go. My favorite was Sakura Wars. I think that's the game I easily dove the furthest into and enjoyed the most, even though it is very visual novel. So I'm gonna give that sucker a B. It still doesn't change the overall grade of a C. Ayakashi Ichiban is a fucking F. I hated that thing. That was terrible. So that makes it a D overall. Kingdom Hearts 2. Look, I'm with Joey. It's a well-made game that has a just very wacky story to it. So I'm going to stick with a C for that one. Memories Off. I'm with you guys. A D. It's just a straight visual novel with a boring story.
Okay.
And Thousand Arms, I'm going to go C. So that gives Ayakashi a D. Kingdom Hearts a B. Memories Off, very good D. And then Thousand Arms is a C. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, so my favorite, Sakura Wars, least favorite is Ayakashi. So, ironically, the two I picked. Yeah, I usually don't like picking the game I picked as the favorite, but here we are. So that was Romance Games. That was episode 86. We'll reconvene in a couple weeks with Colin's theme pick that hasn't been decided yet. We're probably going to do a nice little round of at least the next 3 casts here. So, Joey, Colin, thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.